Okay, and we're just about to begin.
Yeah, round has not started yet, so...
All right, and so we start.
I guess they're just going.
Matt Wichman, I'm assuming that's pronounced, on the left with Restored Cell.
Yeah.
And David Pena with Enraged Cooler. I hadn't looked at the names until just now. So all right, we have a match. Cooler will draw, pass, and rejuve. Optic goes back. Sagacious on the discard. I'm not sure what his third card is.
I believe it's ball. It's a ball. Oh,
Matt,
hello.
We got Salvo.
Whoa.
Salvo draining attack and.
Whew. Close camera. Caught me off
Fizz
guard.
block.
Was not ready for that.
I'm assuming he's
They were
keeping
messing
the draining
with those
attack.
cameras again between rounds.
Sure. And then he may have stacked the Salvo, or a card from the bottom of his deck.
Yeah, ball 4 was what he held on to. Wichman.
Wichman, okay. Got it. Thanks, stream.
I don't know if they asked him or not.
Sure. That would.
More optic blasts.
Well, that's a hand.
Double sacrifice.
Oh God, draining attack is huge. Yeah, I think he might have. I think Ink Matt might have stacked a Salvo, which I guess is fine. Like I don't hate it just to do that. I don't hate it just to check out what the bottom card of your deck is, but I wouldn't have necessarily wanted it in this hand. So that was probably the right move to make, but I wouldn't expect him to stack a Salvo again.
I really love the giant deck because they
Sure.
They
have them on the table. Yeah,
they gave it to them.
I believe Brian or someone else involved with the streaming setup provided those, which is a great idea.
It's really funny.
All right.
Okay.
Restored Cell going in with a card power first. So just try to push a little stage damage. It is an energy, not a physical, even though it has physical-like properties damage-wise. And on hit, he should gain a stage, which wouldn't be the end of the world if he forgot it, but Cell's power would give him, because the top card of his discard is styled. On to Cooler for David's first action of the combat.
Left bolt, I believe.
Mm-hmm. She'll draw a sacrifice, probably. I think that's what he healed. And push a little bit of damage.
Yeah, I think he did heal one.
Matt for draining attack for level. So assuming nothing completely unexpected happens in this combat, Matt will be ready to tutor a leaping kick going into the next combat with Cell's power and begin the loop that is Cell 3. Cooler taking both of those attacks to the face, so currently out of stages, which is definitely good for Matt. Cell Restored is a weird deck because it's not focused on stage pressure, but it definitely can push it intermittently. And if you hit the stage damage in the right combats, it can make a really big difference in terms of denying your opponent actions. And here comes a big-ass Salvo. I don't love Salvo in Restored Cell, but I mean, it's an okay card overall, so... like, it's definitely not the worst thing to run it, period. I would be interested to see if Matt runs Maximum Wills, because I prefer that card in general, but especially in Restored Cell.
Gets me every time.
So if he's running both, he just probably wanted to lean harder to energy beats. But if he's running that over Max Wills, I would strongly disagree personally with that decision. Matt's going fishing.
That's right. That is considered styled. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. The fun cherry on the cake for Restored is you roll the dice and sometimes awesome things happen.
Part of the cards.
Drawing in 2. Oh, shit. All right.
Okay.
Well, the scope of this combat just changed dramatically. Matt drew into Unleashed and a sphere, just in case.
The sphere,
no, I know, but I mean, just in case
things weren't
David could have sphered it. Like, he has an unblockable Unleashed. Yeah, here we go. The nightmare happens one turn earlier than David would have liked.
That's kind of like that's incredible that he was
Yeah.
able to draw that.
For sure. Like, and I would be interested what his count is on those too. Some players I've seen try to run one unleashed and like
think
build
that's that physical
builds that
attack.
kind of splash it. I strongly like. I can't imagine running any deck that has unleashed in it without running 2 or 3. Like, I just don't personally know why you'd run one copy if you're going to
Yeah.
bother to run it and like a handful of cards to support it. Obviously, we don't know what Matt's counts are, but you know, if he's running 3, obviously his odds of peeling it off the top would have been greater than if he's running fewer. And yeah, this combat went from like a building turn to like
Balls to the
a
walls.
true setup. Like he's gonna be a level 4 at the end of this turn and
Oh, yeah.
and fuck up David's discard pile. Like Matt went from trying to put together an advantage to locking one for the moment. Oh, he's asking about the attached card. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Lorraine said, it's a Namekian physical. It has no detach effect, so the only way it comes off is if a card effect that removes attached cards removes it.
Yeah.
And it makes Matt's named cards styled, which is really good in Cell. Like, I run that card in Restored Piccolo, and it's not great in that build just because I don't personally run named cards in my Restored Piccolo. But in Cell, you're always going to be running draining attacks. You can splash Cell style, and being able to pull those from the bottom of the deck with the Mastery is super helpful. So it's just a nice little cherry on the cake. It does more in this build than just an attached card for Unleashed.
Yeah.
Combat ends, Cell's going up. He's going to banish some stuff. And Cell being at level 4 this early in the game is especially damaging to Cooler builds, because Cooler still doesn't function that well at level 1.
Yeah.
So now Matt has the perpetual bullet of the second David gains a level, he's going to lose it immediately with Cell's level 4 power, assuming Matt doesn't choose to proc it before then. I can't imagine he would. I mean, I would... but, you know, we'll see. Anything can happen. Sometimes players make interesting decisions, but yeah, that combat went better than Matt would have hoped, I would guess, going into it. He didn't take a ton of damage. He secured the levels that he wanted to secure, and now it's just going to be about execution and hitting the right draws for both players, really.
It's pretty great. They're having a garlic conversation in the chat.
Nothing wrong with Garlic Jr.
Adept garlic question, and
Oh, is somebody running Adept Garlic?
apparently, yeah.
That owns. Good for them.
Sounds
All
like
right,
they're
David draws
3-0
into
at the-
a
or
big-ass
0-3 in the
hand.
moment.
Supernova Static Shot.
He
And stop.
he kept the ball radar.
Yeah. But yeah, why wouldn't you? He's got to start building up some
Yeah,
kind of
he needs
advantage,
something.
and board is an advantage. So, got Sphere, Ball 2.
Whoa.
So we're back to the like, do it or don't do it,
Yeah.
in terms of playing a ball. Yeah, I'll say. I wouldn't say it would be like a universal mistake to play that Ball 2, but I have no problem with him pitching it.
Yeah. Defense dot hand.
Say, yeah, draw a bunch of blocks. Let's heal some endurance. Build that board. Yeah, David definitely wants to hit the brakes at this point in the game, so he's going to attempt to draw setups for as long as Matt will let him, which I guess is apparently not anymore, because we're going into combat. Matt tutoring with Cell's power. We'll see what kind of styled fun he's... Okay, he does earn Maxwell's. Good. And again, that's just one more. Now on top of... I'm assuming he's going to lead on that. So on top of Cell 4 power being able to lower Cooler level, he's going to thump his anger down immediately from where it stands right now. Because if I'm correct, Cooler has 2 anger now. So he can net at least one more if he relaxations. I'm not sure what's in his discard pile, but then Matt can wipe that out completely before he gets an action if he so chooses to lead on that Max will.
Relaxing.
Oh, maybe he has 4. I thought the dice on his attack table was his anger. I can't quite tell.
Yeah, it's a little hard to tell on cooler side. So he got a sagacious with that.
But, you know, that's more free anger at the very least. Oh shit! Yeah, that was a that was a serious misplay by David. He intended to heal the supernova just to heal it, and instead he had to target his own dragon radar because there were no other viable targets for destruction.
Not May, is it?
Right. It's you must destroy a thing if a target exists. So hopefully he won't let that rattle him. It's very easy to make like an obvious play error like that and then let it shake you for the rest of the match. It's definitely happened to me once or twice. I'm sure there's no player who has not been subjected to getting in their own head from making a rudimentary mistake once in a while.
Ooh.
Stare down and sphere. Although David has a second stare down, so that's not the end of the world for his combat for sure. But I mean, he would have loved to get away. He would have loved to get away with both of them.
Yeah.
And Matt's just gonna mastery, which I don't hate here either. Like even in just terms of just blowing an action to see what David's gonna do next. Like mastering for some free anger and pitching a thing you don't need just to sort of keep the combat flow going while not really playing your whole hand yet is a good move right there.
Did he draw or not?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So it looked like he just shuffled. I didn't see him draw.
Sagacious, Fizzblock, Supernova. David's got a lot of choices here. I kind of guessed that's what he might be going with, because he's going to be denied anger in the next action either way, assuming Matt plays either of those cards.
Yeah.
And that energy attack. All right.
Pass instead.
Passing out.
Okay.
So he's just waiting presumably for the supernova or other actions to drop to lower anger then. That supernova will hit clean. David at 3 anger apparently. Matt requested a count. And now, now he's absolutely, if he wasn't before, he's sure going to lower his anger with this action. So David back to 0 anger, which is definitely not a good thing for him. That damage is all going to be banished, so he's going to lose a lot of options. And he crit through with it, so nothing to do with it necessarily, but, you know, David took a decent chunk of damage with that attack. Oh, he's asking about the
actual power level?
Yeah, his chart level, not the count of stages above 0. David just wanted to thump him out of using Max Will. Which is good. It'll save him some damage, assuming Matt would have thrown it, which I would guess he still would have. But it wouldn't have been a mistake to keep it. I have no problem with either pushing a little damage that he's fairly certain will go through, or holding it onto it for a building turn to like literally lock David's anger as hard as he can. Now he's got the choice between. I would ask for a deck count first. I would have wanted to know. Yeah, I would have wanted to know.
Do you see the?
Oh, the picture. Yeah, I would have wanted to know what the game state was in terms of life cards from both players before dropping a level. But I don't hate that move. I don't hate trying to push a shitload of damage here. But yeah, I wonder how well Matt knows, like what David's life deck count is, like how good his sense of how many cards he's got left is.
I do believe they both have been taking notes, so they probably have some.
And again,
knowledge.
that self power got blocked, which is definitely
really clever.
Not what Matt wanted to do when he dropped that level.
Picture.
And then he did throw the Max Will just to push more damage. But if you're going to drop a level to push as much damage as possible, I suppose it falls through that you're going to Max Will to push as much damage as possible in a turn. And he still gets that, that discard banish, which puts David on point. Like it takes options away from him if assuming Matt is being very well selectively meticulous about the cards he chooses to banish. You know, Supernova is a no-brainer times no-brainer. I like getting rid of Sterns a lot, and Optic is real good, so I don't hate any of those choices.
Yeah, especially since for 2.
Again, I would have taken.
Balls in them.
Yeah, I would have still taken, like, if I were in Matt's position, I would have taken maybe another second or two to evaluate the pile more. Yeah, truly see if you could deny. Like, make sure there aren't 3 stare-downs in there. If there are, make sure you hit them all. Like, stuff like that. But I think he's kind of feeling himself a little bit, and he's just going with the flow. Optic and Sacrifice. I'm assuming he's going to keep that Sacrifice. Yeah, Optic goes back for Endurance. David's deck doesn't look huge. I bet he's plus or minus 30. I bet he's in the high 20s, low 30s, somewhere in there. And Matt honestly probably doesn't have much more, you know, if he's in the lead, but Cell is very versatile at level 4, so he's got that going for him. And Cooler is not particularly versatile at level 1. Losing ball 2 again. Rejuven. Sidekick. And then stacking the sidekick.
Whoa.
Nope. Stacking something. In this case, Salvo. And a handful of blocks. Which, you know...
I don't think he wants to drop him, right?
I wouldn't drop him.
Yeah.
Because that's a twofold... You're giving him another cell level 3 use, which, you know, but it's not 100% wrong to do it, because at least you'll deny him this tutor. Like, if he drops him the next combat they enter in, you know, Matt won't be able to tutor a card. But, like, I don't know.
He's gonna do it.
It's a real Razor's Edge kind of deal, because he's also setting ball 2 up to be stolen whenever he inevitably advances a level. So, like, with that twofold liability combined, I probably wouldn't have done that. But we'll see if it works out for him. So he's contemplating drawing the ball 2 just to banish it, I guess.
I mean, just leave it, right? Oh,
well, you can draw it. It's really useful to peel cards from the bottom of your deck consistently, just to like, kind of like keep checking what's under there. So I wouldn't necessarily even hate taking it to get rid of it, just to free up your options for every turn.
Yeah.
Like, now what's under there?
I mean, I could understand not wanting to do it.
Sure, and the other high-level move there is you could like check your discard pile and see what your options might be for, like, if you have enough dead draws. Banishing it might open you up to heal the top card of your discard pile that's already there and, like, put back something really interesting.
I suppose.
That takes a lot of forethought.
That's what I get for not being a restored player.
Something like that. Matt's going in. I don't believe Matt had anyone enterings.
We got relaxation.
Oh, is this actually Saul? All right, we had a name change. Apena is still playing.
Yeah, people have said that. I wasn't sure.
Okay.
I mean, I'm assuming Valdez is still in here.
My apologies, Saul, for just reading from the screen. That's what we got.
Like we said, we're still off site. We're not actually controlling any of this. This is video we're getting.
Again, Matt. So Matt entered, leading on the salvo.
There's like a handful of blocks.
He'll knock down some Cooler Anger. It'll push a bunch of damage if it hits. But Saul's block line is thick as hell this combat, so I don't think he's in danger of taking much damage this turn.
And Tug.
Right, yeah.
A lot of people are running Tugs.
I mean, it's a good card.
It is, but, like, is it really, like... Are there a lot of ally decks save, like, Gohan?
I mean, there's enough, 13? Like... There's enough things, like I said, decks like, you know, weird cooler builds and stuff sprinkle them enough that, like... Especially with the decks that, you know, just have them as strong support, they don't necessarily have the largest suite of things to return them to play.
Yeah.
Like
guess
obviously,
that's true.
obviously your options for returning banished allies to play are very limited.
Yeah, that's even more so.
So it's just the endurance doesn't hurt. It luckily has the
guess that's
anger and it
true.
puts
It does,
itself
yeah.
back. Like I can
It does
see
do
it.
anger tech as well, I guess, but it's just it seems crazy. Like there's been tugs all the time.
So Matt threw the pinpoint, I believe, and that's the attack that Saul is going to have to soak because he's out of energy blocks. So I'd love to see the top of Matt's discard pile. Wonder what he'll take. It's a choke. So Saul is either going to take some unpreventable life card damage this combat, or he's going to take that sidekick and give Matt another card, because he only has 2 physical blocks to weather the storm of shit that's about to come at him at this point. All right, and the sidekick's coming out, so we'll see. This will kind of determine what Saul can block for the rest of the combat, and he's going to take it, so that's okay. So that choke will be stopped, and Cell's power will also be stopped, unless I missed something in there. But Matt still pushed some damage this turn, and Saul didn't accomplish much, so he will probably be feeling a-okay about this combat, and he'll be at level 4 again, so he'll be free to play defensively or offensively as the situation determines.
Probably gonna do that. Red knee.
Knee lift.
Knee lift. Double cam. Choke.
Oh, he has 2 chokes?
He's got 2 chokes.
I'm not sure where the second choke came from. I must have just missed it.
Yeah, well, they've had, like, the cameras have been switching a little bit, so I think we've missed a few plays on occasion.
So Saul definitely is going to take some unpreventable damage this combat.
Does he have enough? Is it always...
Well, choke's always unpreventable.
I always forget.
And
There's so many words.
It banishes the damage and is
That's
unblockable
right. That's
if
right.
they meet the board requirement.
I always get the unblockable and the unpreventable mixed up. And
Saul doing a disheartening deck count. It doesn't look like he's got many cards left.
Yeah. He's taking some punches.
And he knew that Matt had at least 1 choke because he saw him draw it.
Yeah.
So...
He played it, right? Is that what happened?
Saul's contemplating a block.
Oh, okay. I was like, there's only 1 choke now.
I mean, Matt definitely wants him to stop this just so he can push a little more damage by having Cell's power actually hit.
Yeah.
So he basically nets 2 additional life cards out of this turn by Saul choosing to block one of the chokes. And I don't believe there's any way that Saul could have known that he had a second choke in hand, so... He assumed that was his last one and is hoping that Cell's power is the last attack that Matt's going to throw this turn. Or never mind. I'm slightly wrong in that he can still block Cell's power because he has 1 block. But he will be taking damage, more damage this turn.
I just wonder what order.
I mean, it kind of Cell's. Yeah, there's no reason not to do Cell first, because Cell will still have the information that he can do Cell if Matt chooses to choke there.
Yeah.
So.
Saul has
11 cards left. And that healed 1. I'm not sure what his anger total is.
Yeah, it's really hard to see his anger.
It healed at least 1 card,
2.
I believe. Okay.
I think
and
he's
then
got 2.
Here comes choke for 5, which his ball count, that's going to be dangerously close to dead.
Yeah. Because he only played the 1, so he's got, of the 11, oh wow, we're getting on live updates to this video. Oh gee, yeah, he's hit all of them, I think, on this attack.
Right.
So they're all 6 are down there. Yeah, this is...
Yeah. Matt capturing ball 2. If for no other reason than to prevent last minute ball victory at this point.
Yeah.
That is just fine. Saul's options are he has balls left.
Yeah,
and not
I
a
honestly
ton
think
else.
that's it. I don't think he has anything else.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
maybe
depending on where 7 landed in that sequence, he might draw it this turn, and that at least gives him something to do.
I think it was kind of early, so I don't think he's going to draw it.
but we shall see.
And
Oh,
yeah.
okay, never mind. He turned attack. All right. And that's going to do it. So yeah, Cell Restored, pulling it out, living up to being an awesome deck.
Yeah.
You know, Red Cooler, like I said, good too, but Cooler, Cooler
he
has
got hit by a lot of anger.
Yeah, and that
consistently.
that Unleashed draw was a little nuts.
That was
Like,
insane.
certainly, like I said, it took Matt from like a setup turn into like an actual like
go.
B setup turn. Like
Yeah.
that
I'm
was gonna
ready
be
now.
it was gonna be a building turn. Exactly, it was gonna be a building turn, and then it became like, oh, I'm just ready for the rest of the game now.
All right, let's go.
So yeah, good
It was
game.
a good game though. Like
Yeah.
that was a cool one to watch.
Sure, good game from both players. Well played. We are gonna try to eat some of that food that I procured
Yeah.
a few minutes ago. So
As you can see, they're still they started a little early, so I think their clock is off by
Right.
maybe about like half a minute or so. So
Sure,
they've got
but
about 15 left.
whatever.
Probably.
So yeah, I'll put one of our hot placeholders back up. Stick with us. Check back in 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
In the
We'll
next round.
we're gonna keep an eye on it, and we'll come back.
The next
up when
round
it's
will
ready to
likely
go.
begin around then.
Woo!